Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mr. McKinney here. Um, yeah, getting into Chapter 8, Lesson 7, Exchanging Currency. We skipped over a few of the middle sections of this chapter. So far, we've been talking about reading maps, calculating distances, converting information from maps so that it's usable. Um, And those of you who work through the kind of introductory activity of picking a place in the world and investigating it and thinking about things you would need to know if you wanted to travel there, exchanging currency or at least figuring out what type of money is used in the place you'd like to go should probably be pretty high on your list. Here in the United States, we use what we call dollars. And we're actually not the only country that uses dollars, although there's a bunch of different types of dollars all around the world. Um, American currency may be accepted in some countries around the world, but a lot of places you'd have to change it up in some way or another. Doing a little research on my own, looking for a reputable place to look up exchange rates, trying to figure out how valuable the US dollar is and what does it look like when you have to change our dollars into a different currency. I found some information I felt pretty good about on the IRS website. They had their own currency exchange through the Treasury website, but it wasn't very visually easy to look at. But they did recommend these three other websites here. So I felt good about using these ones recommended from the Treasury website. And I found some pretty easy to use tables. This one is from xrates.com, and we get a table that looks like this. I don't know if you all will be able to see it in the video that well, but it looks just like the one that we're going to use in our activity for today. Um, this is the top 10 exchange currencies when compared to the US dollar. Now, I don't know how they figured that out, but these must be common currencies that people change dollars into. And we can see here the name of the currency on the left. We have the euro, British pound, Indian rupee, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, Singapore dollar, Swiss franc, Malaysian ringgit, Japanese yen, and the Chinese yuan. And then they give us this rate here, and these are like uh, decimals out to the sixth place. It's pretty specific. But what this means is it's showing how much you will get in return for one single dollar. For example, if you had $1 American, you could get 0.922872 euros. Now, in real money, if we cut that off, you'd get about 92 cents. So you might think of it as you might lose a little bit of money, but $1 American is only worth 92 cents in the euro. So €1 is more valuable than an American dollar. Same thing with the British pound. We can see the exchange rate here is 0.80. And if you turned $1 American in, you'd get 80 cents back in British pounds. Indian rupee, it's the opposite. Our American dollar is worth a lot more. For $1 American, you would get 76 Indian rupees and maybe about 5 cents. Australian dollar looks like you get about $1.54 for every American dollar, and so on. So exchange rates are a way to compare our currency to other currencies all around the world, right? Here's another table. This is from exchangerates.org. Very similar, comparing United States dollars to another country. Rates are pretty similar, and these are up to date as of today. Exchange rates change kind of like the stock market, they go up and down. And lastly, this was from xe.com, a slightly different format. They had a little toggle you can inverse. So this is going $1 to all of these different currencies. So you can see $1, you get about 92 cents euro, 80 cents British pounds, about $1.40 Canadian. But then it also had a toggle switch where you could flip it and say, well, for €1, you get about $1.08 American. Or if you had $1 Australian, you'd get about 65 cents American. So this website just had a slightly different layout. And that's exactly what we're going to look at today is if you have a certain amount of American dollars, what can you expect to get in a different country's currency? And we're going to flip it and say, well, what if you have some money from a different country? What is that going to look like when we change it back into American dollars? That's going to be our math calculations for today. Part one, we're going to convert US dollars to other currencies, and we have a simple formula type equation to work with. If you have a certain amount of American dollars, we're going to multiply it by whatever our exchange rate is, and it's going to tell you how much you get in the other currency. Pretty straightforward. Here's my exchange rate table, and we're going to start off with 75 bucks. So I'm going to say I got $75 American, and I'm going to Australia. I want to know, well, how much can I expect to get in return for my 75 bucks? Go up here and look at the table. Australia's first one right here. Their currency is also called a dollar. It's an Australian dollar. And the exchange rate is 1.87. So if I multiply 75 times 1.87, end up with $140.25 Australian. So according to this table, which is from the textbook, this one's not necessarily up to date, this exchange would be in our favor. Here, 75 American would turn into 140.25 Australian. Second example, going from US dollars to Brazilian real, starting with the same 75 bucks. We're going to multiply it by our rate, Brazilian real, getting a rate of 2.32. $2.32 for every dollar. If we multiply those together, we're going to get 175 Brazilian real. And our last example, going from US dollars to another currency, 75 American. And we are going to change it into British pounds. If you're traveling to Great Britain, which is also called England, and sometimes referred to as the UK, it's like it has 3 different names. We would change our money into British pounds. The exchange rate is here, so 0.69. You're only going to get 69 cents back for each dollar you change. So your $75 is only going to yield $51, or excuse me, 51.75 in British pounds. Okay. So going to another country, that's kind of the mathematical thinking you would have to do, changing American dollars into another currency. And imagine after your trip, you're coming back, you still have a pocket full of money from whatever country you're in. You might want to change it back to American dollars if you want to spend it here, or maybe put it back in your bank or whatever. So we can flip around this same equation in order to do the conversion backwards, because the rate's going to be the same. But in this case, we're going to already know what other currency we have, because imagine we're traveling back, coming back from Great Britain. I got all these pounds in my pocket. How can I turn it into dollars? Well, we can rearrange this equation using algebra. That I don't want to solve for the other currency. I want to solve for our American dollars. So if we think about it like algebra, if I divide the rate on this side, then our American dollars will be by itself. So I'll know what equals, however much dollars. And if I do one thing to one side, I have to do the same thing to the other side. So what this is going to tell us is that if we take our other amount of currency and we divide it by the rate, then we'll be able to figure out how much American dollars this amount is worth. Okay, so we're using the same equation, rearranging it, using that algebra from back in the day. So same exchange table, except we're going backwards. This time we're going to start with some currency from Thailand, the baht. And we are going to start out with 1,000 baht in this case. So after a holiday in Thailand, I have 1,000 baht in my pocket, and I'm coming back to the United States, but I'd much rather have American dollars when I get home. Looking at the exchange table, here's Thailand, the baht, 44.18 baht. That's our rate. So for every 44.18 baht we have, we are going to get 1 American dollar. Grabbing my calculator, definitely can't do this one in my head. 1,000 divided by 44.18. Now I did round it because it's not exact. It was a really big decimal. Wrong decimal. But that 1,000 baht, well, that's actually only worth $22.63. Big number. Not quite the same. Let's look at the exchange rate coming back from Switzerland. So we're going to stick with that 1,000 number, trying to make sure I don't always say dollars because it's not $1,000. Coming back from Switzerland, they have francs. So we have 1,000 Swiss francs or francs. And for every 1.68 francs, you are going to get $1 in return. So again, grabbing the calculator, do some quick division. 1,000 Swiss francs is going to turn into $595.24 American. All right, one more. Now we're working with the equation. We're going to stick with 1,000. Coming back from Japan, I got 1,000 yen left over. I'm going to stop and change it out at customs or a bank, or should figure out what's the most common place to change money. In Japan, their currency is referred to as the yen. We have 1,000 yen, and for every 131.55 yen we have, we're going to get $1 back. So that 1,000 yen is actually only worth the same amount of money as $7.60. All right. So yeah, a couple examples there, changing currency from American to another country and back again. We can do it both ways. All right. Good luck. See you all in the future.